$1,073 plus $1,341 per month for Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and SSI beneficiaries. The new updates and where we currently stand with these payments. I have all the details for you in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you every single day with all the latest information as things are changing very rapidly right now, especially as Congress continues to work their way through the next version of the stimulus package, as well as they currently have all of these proposals, packages, amendments, reform, and everything else that's currently on the table and being discussed by a variety of different lawmakers. We're watching everything very closely right now, and I want to make sure that you stay up to date with everything going on, because at any given time, something could come out that we could take advantage of, whether it's money, benefits, programs, reform to all of these very important programs, or anything else that we could take advantage of. And I want to make sure that you're taking advantage of these programs as they are released. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe and join the community by hitting that button right down below if you haven't done so yet. All right, thank you so much. I truly appreciate your support, and thank you so much for believing in me. I'm right here by your side every single day. I truly want to help out everybody in this community. I know it's tough out there. I truly get the struggle that's going on right now. So I'm here for you. Let's get right into the update. All right, so late last year in 2021, we heard out of a few lawmakers that they were going to be bringing these proposals to the table in early 2022 in regards to a $1,073 monthly benefit and a $1,341 monthly benefit for millions of beneficiaries receiving the benefits I mentioned at the beginning of the video: Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and SSI beneficiaries. In fact, across the board, there's about 70 million plus beneficiaries that draw on these benefits every single month, a huge percentage of our population right here in the United States. Well, one of the other provisions that they said when they were talking about this in late 2021 was that they had planned to bring these two proposals to the floor in Congress, in the House of Representatives and the Senate, to open them up for debate and start discussing what it would be like to actually reform these programs and ultimately raise benefits to those levels that I just mentioned a second ago: $1,073 and $1,341. However, one of the provisions and one of the caveats going into that was they said, provided we can get the Build Back Better agenda done by their timeline, which happened to be Christmas Day. Remember that one? Yeah. Their whole plan was to get it done by then, and then they were going to follow it up shortly thereafter by visiting these proposals early in 2022. That's what they were talking about anyway. However, looking back in hindsight, of course, all of us know how that worked out. Of course, they didn't meet their deadline of getting the Build Back Better agenda done by Christmas Day, but rather they're still actually talking about it. So, what does this actually mean for these monthly benefits for all of these millions of beneficiaries, and is it going to be happening anytime soon, or where do we currently stand with this? So let me walk you through the current timeline of where we currently are right now with these monthly benefits, the proposals that are talking about raising these benefits, and when could they possibly be talking about this? When may they actually bring this to the floor, open it up for debate, and when may they actually pass some kind of bill to actually help out with all of these millions of beneficiaries who are below the poverty line right now as a result of these benefits? Here's where we currently stand. Because their original proposal and their original plan was to get the Build Back Better agenda, otherwise known as the stimulus package, out of the way, that is still their current plan right now. So unfortunately, these benefit raises are going to take the back burner for a little bit longer, simply because all their attention and their focus right now is focused on a couple things. The newly revised Build Back Better agenda, remember, as I mentioned yesterday, the Build Back Better agenda is pretty much done. It's done. However, they are working on the newly revised version of that, as we've been talking about previously in other videos. So their whole agenda right now, their whole plan is to get that thing done in whatever version they can get done. That is their plan at this time right now. Now, They've also allocated the entire month of February to working on that plan. Could they get it done sometime mid-February? Yeah, of course they could. May they get it done sometime in March, April, May, September? Honestly, it could take that long as well. We have no clue, and I'm not even going to try to guess at how long it's going to take Congress to do this because they're very slow, right? We just know that. We also have this other timeline on the table right now, which is February 18th. And again, we've talked about that in previous videos. We don't need to go down that, but that's something else that they're working on right now is the deadline of February 18th to get some other legislative work done. However, where does this actually stand with these payments then, and what's going on with these as far as all these millions of beneficiaries? So here's where these come from. Let me briefly tell you where these numbers are coming from and who these would actually impact. So number one, the $1,073 per month is actually for those about 8 million beneficiaries of SSI. This is from the SSI Restoration Act. Again, if you've been following the channel for any length of time now, you know that we've talked about this a few times in previous videos. This is the proposal that they resurrected out of a group of Democratic senators, I should have said. They were the ones who resurrected this, and it is the SSI Restoration Act. One of the major provisions in this bill is, well, I should call it a proposal at this point. One of the major provisions within this proposal is to raise the monthly benefit up to 100% of the federal poverty line, which just so happens to be $1,073 versus the maximum benefit right here, right now in 2022 of $841 every single month. So that'd give you a nice little raise right there. About $232 every single month would be the raise. Not too bad, right? That'd be a pretty nice little raise going forward. So that's where that one is coming from. Now, you might be wondering, what about the $1,341 that I mentioned as well? Good question. This one is actually coming from the Social Security 2100. Now, there's actually two versions of this. There's one that was introduced back in 2019, and there's another one that was just introduced late last year as well, the Social Security 2100. Now, that is where this other version is coming from, this $1,341. What does it represent? It represents 125% of the federal poverty line, which is what they want to do to raise the minimum guaranteed benefit up to that $1,341 per month. So again, that'd be life-changing for a lot of people, right? So, yeah, that's what they want to do with these two proposals. So that's where those numbers are actually coming from. So here is what the current plan is going forward. Pretty much everything that has been on the legislative calendar has essentially just been pushed back. Of course, they're working on a few things simultaneously, but ultimately the plan was in late 2021 to bring both of these, the Social Security 2100 along with the SSI Restoration Act, to the floor simultaneously to work on them together and hopefully get some kind of legislation passed to actually raise these benefits for millions of beneficiaries. However, because of the Build Back Better agenda getting a whole lot of nothing done, this whole legislative process has been pushed back a little bit further. So it's all going to be determined by when they actually get the Build Back Better agenda done. Provided they get it done relatively quickly, and again, I'm not going down that road as far as predicting when it may get done. Honestly, I have no clue. That's why we have to watch this stuff very closely every single day, and why I need to continue to keep you updated because it's changing literally all the time. However, when that gets done, provided it's in a reasonable amount of time, we could foresee them bringing back the SSI Restoration Act and the Social Security 2100 sometime simultaneously shortly thereafter to bring this to the floor, open it up, and hopefully get something done for all of these millions of beneficiaries who are living below the poverty line. You know what I'm talking about, right? Let's just say this much. If your benefit is below $1,073 every single month, whether it's from any of the benefits that I mentioned, retirement, Social Security, survivors, SSDI, SSI, any of these benefits, by definition, you would be living below the poverty line because it's based on income, remember, and the income threshold in order to be at the poverty line is $1,073. Well, we know the quote out of the president that I've quoted here on the channel multiple different times. The president has said, no older adults or people with disabilities should ever need to live in poverty in America. Now, we've talked about that quote many, many times now. And in fact, unfortunately, anybody under that amount, the $1,073, is technically in poverty. Well, here's the deal. People that receive Social Security, are either seniors or people with disabilities, right? So by definition, there's millions of people living in poverty. Again, not a good situation, but again, we can elaborate on that in much more detail in future videos. But here's where we currently stand on this. Depending on the Build Back Better agenda, hopefully they can get something done, whether they break it up into 20 different packages or they break it up into 6 million packages. Honestly, we don't really care what they do with the Build Back Better agenda. They've just got to get something done, whether it's standalone bills and there's 50 of them, maybe it's one big package at about $1 trillion, maybe it's 6 different packages with 3 provisions each, or maybe it's executive orders. Honestly, we don't have all that details yet, but it's all going to revolve around when they get the Build Back Better agenda done. And again, that's what I keep calling it, but realistically, it's not going to be that anymore. It's going to be some new name, some new package, whatever they decide to call the new version of it. We don't know those details as of this filming or this recording right now. But anyway, hopefully, basically what we can do is cross our fingers right now that Congress will get something done here very quickly when it comes to this other package, the stimulus package. Get that out of the way, get it off the table, get some relief out to the people who will be included in that bill, and then let's start to revisit some of these proposals that'll actually lift benefits for millions of beneficiaries. Now, if they bring it to the floor and open it up for debate and start talking about it, does that guarantee that benefits will be raised? No, unfortunately, it does not mean that at all. So this is the unfortunate part. Because just because that they bring these to the floor, these proposals, and open them up for debate and start talking about them, does not mean that they are passed. They still need to go through the legislative process. They need to get the necessary votes in the House, the necessary votes in the Senate. They need to send it off to the president's desk, and they need to get a signature on it in order to get it into law. So again, it's quite a bit of process here going forward, and we've watched this play out with multiple different stimulus packages over the last couple of years. It can be a very long, drawn-out process, and remember, as they open it up for debate, there's also negotiations, so you never know. Some of these numbers could be shaved down, could be negotiated lower. There's a lot of different things that could happen, but at the end of the day, hopefully all that we can really cross our fingers about is that they come to their senses and at least lift people at an absolute minimum to the federal poverty line, right? That's the only thing we could ever ask of them. I mean, seriously, if they could do anything right now, I feel like the only thing we could say is, hey, if you're going to do anything, at least raise benefits to a guaranteed minimum benefit of at least the federal poverty line. That would give everybody, a couple $100 raise per month, depending on what your benefit is, where you receive your benefit. But then there's the whole talk about everything as far as where's the money coming from, right? Well, again, that's a whole nother situation, which again, the lawmakers can figure that out. They're the ones who have that authority. They're the ones, and that's their job. Honestly, we shouldn't have to figure that out for them. That is their job. That's why they've been elected to do what they do, right? So anyway, as you can see, it's a pretty elaborate process. There's a lot that goes into it, but this is where we currently stand on this. Don't give up the hope. Please, don't give up on anything. We've got to stick to this. Ultimately, these lawmakers are in office, they have a position, and they have a job because of us, right? It is us, we the people, that put them in positions, whether we voted for them or not. Ultimately, they are there because of the vast majority of people and the votes that came in, putting them in these positions. So, whether you agree with them or not, this is what we got to deal with, right? I think a lot of us in this community can probably say, oh, we don't agree. Get us some stimulus. Get us some money. Get us some relief. We're struggling here. Please do something. We don't care what it is. Just get us some relief. So, unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with right now. But again, please don't give up the hope. We're doing what we can here. We can only work at the speed of Congress, unfortunately. I wish there was something we could do to speed this up, but that's all we can do right now. So anyway, hope this update helps you out. Again, I'm watching everything closely, as I always do all day, every day. I'm watching everything very, very closely, and I'm pulling out any new information for you as I find it. So hope this helps you out. Again, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so I can keep you updated every single day with all these latest details as things are changing very rapidly. Also, make sure to share this video or any others here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media. And go back and check out any of the other 2,100 videos or thereabouts right here on the channel. And with that being said, let's bring Corey in, my wife, so she can read the new updated list of shoutouts for the names that are pulled right out of the fan club. If you're interested in checking that out, there's a link down below in the description. Otherwise, at the top of the comment section, you can check out that link as well if you'd like to check out the fan club and join the list for shoutouts right here in our videos. All right, Corey, take it away. Congratulations to the shoutouts in this video. And remember, this list is changing in every single video. So stay tuned for the next one, next video later, and I will see you then. Thanks again for watching this. I really do appreciate your support. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Corey, take it away, and she will read that new list of shoutouts. All right, Corey, it's all you. I'll catch you later. See ya.
We are shouting out Cynthia Zapeta, Sheree Wilder-Richburg, Karen Giddith, Jennifer Myers, Sarah Rudnicki, Marcella Reyes, and Edward Clovey. Thank you for being members of the fan club.